Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League, live tonight from Road America for race number 1 of the season. Looking so forward to getting going in these BMW M4 GT3 machines. We had a great season last season just a few weeks ago, ending with Steve Ficacci as the season champion. His rival in that series, Christopher Hill, out here currently on the top spot of the qualifying grid here for race number 1, but we are still in the qualifying session here. This 4-mile racetrack up in Wisconsin, 14 corners around here, and we do have some format changes and some updates for the series. So we are, instead of a 40-minute solo race, we are going to have 2 races back-to-back, 2 sprint races, 20-minute races, which is going to be very interesting to see how drivers compete from one to the next. And this track is a lot of fun, a lot of elevation changes, kind of weaving through the woods here in the northern Midwest. And going to be a lot of fun here as we take a look at Brian Kennedy making his way down the front stretch past the start-finish line. We'll go on board with him here for a couple of qualifying laps. We do want to welcome you back, and so looking forward again to all of this, the racing that we have out in front of us here this season. We do want to also thank SEO Mike and Beltway Brewing Company for sponsoring the series. You'll learn more about them at the halfway break between the 2 races, so stick around and catch that at that point. They're longtime sponsors of this league, and glad to have them back for this season as well. Some new machines on track compared to last season. These are the GT3 cars. These are the M4 GT3 machines. They've got those kind of updated grills on the front end of the race car. A little bit different than the machines we were in last series, the M8 that we had in that series. So these cars are going to handle a little bit differently. A really big wing on the back, shorter wheelbase, and a lot of horsepower still in these machines right now, running a 153. The best lap so far is a 202.9 by Christopher Hill in this session. Going to be a very competitive race tonight. A lot of drivers within 1 second of the pole time. Be up here on your screen. We do also have a new ticker at the bottom to talk about events that happen throughout the race, so you can follow along down there. You can learn more about the sponsors and the race information as well. Excited to get things kicked off here tonight. You are all looking forward to it. Make sure to cheer on your favorite drivers out there, who you're rooting for, who you think is going to win tonight's event. As we head into race number 1, going to be a little bit different from what we've seen here in the past. As look at this, the scenery here looking really, really nice tonight. A little bit dark out there at the moment. Christopher Hill is going to be starting off on the front row. Let's go to our starting grid here in tonight's race. Christopher Hill starting on the pole for the first event of the season. He is going to be one of the guys to beat throughout these 10 races. Stefan Vapa going to be rolling off alongside him from the second position. Starting from the third spot, Rafael Torres starting in fourth. Darren Treacle, a race winner from last season. Aaron Dietrich going to be starting from fifth. Brian Kennedy, who was so strong and consistent in last season as well. He'll be rolling off from the sixth position. Peter Lannick starting seventh. Adam Pohl, who ended up on the podium a few times last season. He'll be rolling off eighth. Jesse Brannon starting in ninth. And Dean Tulane going to be rolling off from the 10th position. Scott Kim starts from 11th. Callan Crocker going to be 12th. 13th, Colin Kortnick. 14th, Yakov Bielik. Peter Yurksa going to be starting from 15th. Mike Nickum, 16th. 17th is Perry Duncan. 18th, Carlos Bonds. Ben Cellier going to be starting from the 19th position, and David Curtis rounds out the top 20. 21st, Matthew Stover. 22nd, John Wood. 23rd, Stephen Tenney. 24th, Burkent Gondagdu. That's going to be Gundogdu. Going to be a fun one for me to pronounce throughout the race. Robert Benson, 25th. Jonathan DeKeischer in 26th. And Aspen Belvin rounding out the field tonight. 27 drivers here in race number 1. A good size field as the pace car starts to get rolling. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for in tonight's race. So glad to have you all back with us here on V-Speed. Forward to a very fun season as the field working towards the start-finish line to get things kicked off for race number 1 from Road America. It's going to be Christopher Hill leading us to the start-finish line. Race 1 here in the 2 sprint races this evening. Stefan Vapa right alongside. Green flag in the air. We're underway with the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Field working through turn number 1. This 14-corner racetrack, and Christopher Hill will lead them down through there. As we do have a car off the racetrack, that, I believe, Rafael Torres finding his way through the grass. That is going to be Rafael Torres, the 777. We go back and take a quick look at what happened there. He just went wide, actually got into it with Stefan Vapa. Dove into the corner, went in a little bit too deep right there. And Torres able to continue onwards, but going to lose a lot of track position right there as cars filing up over the hill. And he is going to try and make back a spot right here alongside the 57 machine. That is Mike Nickum side by side with Torres, and Torres still alongside him, but out in front. Christopher Hill already a 2.1 second advantage. Darren Treacle right here in the second position, moving up from 4th. He takes that spot away from Aaron Dietrich, who now moves up to P3. This is a really fun racetrack, a lot of difficult corners around here, but a very scenic track as well. As the field working through the woods here on the back side of the course. Christopher Hill out in front. He's going to lead us around here for lap number 1 across the line. A 2.2 second advantage over Darren Treacle, who's got his work cut out for him here in just a 20-minute race. Not a lot of time to make up that kind of distance, and we know how good Christopher Hill can be. As the battle back here, Stefan Vampa, Peter Lanik all over his tail. Not going to be able to make anything happen down into turn number 1. Up over the hill they go. Adam Pohl trailing them. Jesse Brannon also in that lead group. And then Dean Tulane up to 9th position, trying to hold off Alan Crocker and Scott Kim, who ride in 10th and 11th. Single file through most of this field. Work lap number 2 here this evening. Treacle hanging tough right here in 2nd position. This is a very tricky section through here. Also, a little farther back around this course, it can be a little bit tricky. There's a downhill left-hand corner that leads up to it. An uphill rise back to another left-hander, which we actually just went through not too long ago. So the 54 Matthew Stover, I believe, went off course. Take a look here. I think he had a moment. Oh, maybe not. He is just trailing the field right now by a good distance. Right now, 27th out of the 27 drivers on the racetrack. But some good battling a little bit farther back in the field. Jonathan DeKeischer in 22nd, putting the pressure on Aspen Delvin. Right there, the 27 machine in front of him. Gonna take some time to get used to these paint schemes on these guys this season. Some of them changed them up pretty dramatically. Kind of 2x2 right here. Really send it down in the corner. We do have Perry Duncan off the racetrack. The number 8 machine in the sand trap here as he tries to get going. He'll go all the way to the back of the field. Not where you want to be early on in the event here. Christopher Hill still leading. 15 minutes to go in this. And that is the difference right there. Back to 2nd place, Darren Treacle, who's running very competitive lap times with Christopher Hill, just 8/1000 slower on the previous lap. But he's lost a couple tenths here on this lap, and not the direction he needs to be going to close that margin. Treacle works through that left-hand corner. Oh, big wiggle there out of Aaron Dietrich behind him, and side by side, that's going to set Stefan Vampa back. Adam Pohl working to his left side, driver's left. They try to fight out for that 6th position. He will take it away. Adam Pohl now moving forward up from 8th. 2 positions now gained. Really cool to see these guys slinging it out here tonight. We're going to have a move, possibly the 141, Yakov Bialik. Going to go to the inside. That is Scott Kim going to go off the racetrack, that neon yellow machine. Already has quite a bit of nose damage on that car. And he's going to go off again right there through the cones. Back on course, but more positions lost for Scott Kim, who finds himself struggling here early on in this one. Meanwhile, out in front, Christopher Hill showing the way. That gap now up to 2.7 seconds, and Aaron Treacle has gotten away from Aaron Dietrich, who had his moment just about a minute ago. Work up the hill to complete lap number 3. Aaron Dietrich now finds himself leading a train of race cars here. Try and hold on to this position. And he is going to have a battle from Brian Kennedy, who works down to driver's right. He will take that spot away through turn number 1. Next one in line behind him, that is going to be Adam Pohl. Rather, Peter Lanik and Adam Pohl, who Pohl looked like he was going to make a move right there. A little off course, 2 tires off for Lanik. couple tires off right there. That could be a moment. Oh, and Stefan Vappa's going to go wide. Had no choice but to make an evasive maneuver there. It looked like Aaron Dietrich struggling down into the corner, or possibly that was Brian Kennedy. Let's go back and take a look here at what happened. They all kind of stacked up. That sent Vappa wide and off course, and that let Callan Crocker, or sorry, Jesse Brannon on through. Brannon now moving up to the 7th position after starting 9th. Vappa started 2nd, and he finds himself in 8th position, so not going in the right direction. Probably still getting comfortable with these race cars. They haven't driven these before. Quite a change from the previous season. Mr. Hill still pulling away now. The margin 2.9 seconds as he put another half second on Darren Treacle, who is pulled now 3.1 seconds over Brian Kennedy. He leads that line of race cars. Aaron Dietrich, Peter Lanik, and Adam Pohl. Down the straightaway they go. This front stretch very long and a little bit bumpy at points. And we might see a move here. Peter Lanik now looks to the right side of Aaron Dietrich. He's going to go off course into the sand. That'll set him well behind at the exit of the corner there. And that's going to allow Adam Pohl now into the top 5. Hard wheel-to-wheel racing here tonight, and a lot of these guys overshooting some of these corners, trying to make passes, and paying the price for it. And that time, Lanik only losing 1 position, but if more cars had been in striking distance, could have lost more. And Adam Pohl now took a look right there, the driver's left of Aaron Dietrich, but Dietrich too deep into that corner. Going to allow that move to happen. We've got a 3-way battle back here. The Black Machines, Jonathan De Keyser, Peter Yerxa, and Carlos Bonds, I believe, all under a blanket right here. All fighting just inside the top 15. These are points-paying positions. A little farther back, Sten Selye trying to track down Aspen Belvin. Aspen Belvin up 10 positions, so big mover in this race. And for other battles around the racetrack, fairly spread out for the moment. Perry Duncan and Robert Benson might be setting up to do battle right here. Oh, moment right there for Benson right in front of him. They'll go side by side down the long straightaway here. Not really very straight at all, and down into the corner. Perry Duncan's going to take that spot away. Maybe a little bit of contact. They both survive that moment there. Go back up a little bit farther forward. Brian Kennedy putting the pressure on Aaron Dietrich as they have swapped positions once again, and Adam Pohl right there getting ready to strike if they get into it. 3 cars fighting to get in that final step of the podium. The top 2 are gone. For Hill 3 seconds ahead of Darren Treacle. Treacle entering that corner down here at the bottom of the hill. Darren finished runner-up in the final race of last season. Behind Michael Pavlano, had a good shot at winning that race. Did find victory lane as well at one point. We've ended up 3rd in the points. Very competitive driver last season. Starting off this race so far in good shape. Off track though, Brian Kennedy regains control of that machine. Adam Pohl not close enough to make anything happen with that. See just how much speed these cars are able to carry, all that downforce on the front and rear, really pushing it in through these corners. Side by side, that was Dean Tulane looking down. Oh, and I think contact there. Tulane, actually, sorry, that was Callan Crocker and Jesse Brannon. Tulane, Stefan Vapa here in the top 10 as well. Vapa has lost a lot of ground. They're starting to do some bobbing and weaving on the straightaways, trying to break the draft. Cars are affected. They've got a lot of aerodynamics built into them. So these straightaways, these straight line parts of the racetrack, a really good spot to gain some speed by cutting through the air with the car in front of you, creating a wake of. Guys, nose to tail here. This is 7th through 10th, under 1 second separating all of those drivers. Off track goes Stefan Vapa for a moment, able to keep that car up to speed. Good job. And he's going to take a look. Drivers left here on Dean Tulane as they send it down into the corner. Tulane, really good defensive move right there, able to get the car to make the corner and hold off Stefan Vapa at least for another moment, but Vapa is right there all over his tail. Really fun stuff here in the opening race of the season. This is Christopher Hill's race to lose, though. He is all by himself. The next closest car, Darren Treacle, 3.6 seconds back. The lap time's not really all that close right now. 0.6 slower for Treacle, though he is the second quickest car on the racetrack. Peter Lanik also putting down a very quick lap that last time. So watch out for him to work his way back into the top 5 after, I believe, a moment a couple laps ago. He is really pushing the track limits here, getting right up against the edge of the course. Christopher Hill might be approaching some lap traffic. The number 14 of John Wood in 25th position. The next car up the road from him, just about 13 seconds. He may just get there by the end of it. 2 cars off the track at the moment. Birkin Gandagu and David Curtis. These 2 cars on pit lane have, I think, called it a race here. At this battle here for 3rd position, Brian Kennedy, Aaron Dietrich side by side. Behind them, Adam Pohl. Where does he go? He'll get a big run from this huge wake of air that's opened up for him. He's gonna be late on the brakes there. Gets it slowed up, not able to pass Aaron Dietrich. Dietrich may just leave the door. No, Pohl backs out of it. He'll still stay in the 5th position. Peter Lanix closed back up. Really, really exciting racing tonight, especially up here in the top 5. Kind of similar to what we saw at the end of last season. There were, maybe 2-3 guys that were just checked out, and then everybody else fighting to get a top 5 position. These guys were really going at it. And right now, they are absolutely flying down this racetrack, this speedway. Good passing zones here. Really iconic corners. This is a very historic racetrack. NASCAR has been here pretty recently. That's how I've been most familiar with it. Just been able to watch the race that they ran here last year, but also did some looking back into the history of this speedway. Very cool, historic track, and has really grown and developed over time. Look at this battle now, side by side for 3rd. Kennedy, Dietrich trying to get it done here. Down into turn number 1. Dietrich around the outside, able to stay on the racetrack. A little bit slow on exit, though. That may open the door for Adam Pohl, who pulls alongside. And Adam Pohl clear through to 4th, but Dietrich might just make a move on him on this straightaway. Stefan Vapa, Rafael Torres swapping positions just a moment ago, but Torres looks like he might be coming back to try and make a move. Side by side here for 4th. Adam Pohl on the outside, Dietrich down low. He's going to get sideways. Hangs onto it, but here comes Callan Crocker and Jesse Brannon closing in. Callan joined late last season, but very impressive couple of runs to close it out. Good to see him competing up here inside the top 10. This battle inside the last 2 positions of the top 10. Rafael Torres, Stefan Vapa, also Dean Tulin fighting to get in the top 10. Under 2 minutes remaining. If we'll get the white flag this next time by Christopher Hill. Through just a couple more corners on this lap. He will work his way up the hill. Could get the white flag this time. This is Christopher Hill leading the field by now 4 seconds. Darren Treacle a little bit too far back unless Christopher Hill makes a mistake. Hill is closing in on a lap machine. Brian Kennedy hanging on to 3rd. Adam Pohl in that 4th position. Line of race cars here trying to get that final step of the podium a little farther back. Torres snakes down to the inside line on the front straightaway. Stefan Vapa is closing in. You got into it in turn number 1 as Torres dove in there. And Vapa maybe not too happy with him. Right now, these guys fighting for these final few spots in the top 10. Here goes Adam Pohl now trying to get that 3rd position away from Brian Kennedy down the hill. Back to the left. Oh, and hard on the brakes. Into the wall goes Brian Kennedy. And able to get the machine collected, but big damage on the right side. Maybe suspension damage as well. That car's not tracking straight anymore. So he will limp it around for the final lap of this race. But Kennedy, Brian Kennedy throwing away the podium position with a mistake there, under braking. And here comes Peter Lanik now going to put some pressure on Adam Pohl. White flag officially displayed here as Christopher Hill now going to put the 14 machine of John Wood a lap down. Just a couple more corners for Christopher Hill to take the 101 to victory lane in race number 1. Darren Treacle closing in, but not fast enough. To the final corner, headed back to the start-finish line. It's going to be Christopher Hill, who's fighting for the championship last season. He's going to kick things off with a bang here in race 1 tonight. Christopher Hill's going to win race 1 at Road America. That 101 machine, Darren Treacle there behind him, the 70. And the battle for the 3rd spot. Going to be Adam Pohl taking that position now. A drag race to the line. Peter Lanik, Aaron Dietrich side by side for the 4th position. It'll be Lanik edging him out there. And then Callan Crocker 6th. Jesse Brannon in 7th position. 2 other battles here side by side. That was Yakov Bialik and Jonathan de Kaiser. Christopher Hill taking the victory here in race number 1. Every single lap, just a total of 10 laps in that race. See if we can pull him up into the booth. Word in with him. Hey, Christopher Hill, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do. How's it
Well,
going, guys?
yeah, not too bad, man. You start things off with a bang here, dominating drive there in race number 1. You lead every lap and pretty comfortable there at the end.
Yeah, all things went pretty well, all things considered. So hopefully we can repeat for the second go round. And um, I don't know, Darren seemed to have a little pace towards the end there, but I also kind of wasn't pushing too hard in the last couple laps. So guess we'll see. Looked like quite a battle from third on back there, though, at least in the relatives. So
Yeah,
I'll have to watch that later.
yeah, you and Darren were well out in front, and that third place battle was pretty intense. We saw that at the end of last season. That was usually the case there, but looks like you guys are starting to get set up for race 2. So go have some more fun out there.
Sounds good. Hopefully we'll talk to you again in a bit.
All right. Hill, winner of race number 1. Things start off here. Got a slight break, so we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Be right back. The Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV area. Check out their lineup of unique IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzers. Savory and delicious empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available in their tap room. For all things Beltway, go to beltwaybrewco.com and follow at Beltway Brew Co. on social media. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. Back at the racetrack here, going to be rolling off for race number 2. This is going to be a slightly different grid, I believe. Oh, you know what? It's going to be the same grid, I think. Actually, they're in a different order. They're in the finishing positions of race number 1, I believe is how it's going to be done here. A lot of time to run through it anyways, but right back at it here. Race number 2 tonight from Road America. You'll see the track map hopefully populate here in just a few moments as the drivers getting up to the green flag once again. It's going to be Christopher Hill leading the field across the start-finish line. We're underway for race 2 from Road America, the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Down into turn 1. It's going to be a dive down into the corner. Darren Treacle trying to get up there and challenge for that race lead. He's still side by side with Christopher Hill. They race down into turn number 2. It is neck and neck. Treacle, bold move, trying to keep it up along the right side. And he's going to have a little bit of help here from the car behind him. I think Adam Pohl might give him a little bit of draft. They work their way down the straightaway. Pohl now actually pulls down behind Christopher Hill, side by side for second, or for the lead rather. And Treacle may have the preferred line, but he's going to back out of it first. Christopher Hill just able to get past him in the braking zone. Side by side for a second. Adam Pohl goes wide there. Here goes Rafael Torres trying to look to the inside. Not going to be able to make that work. But Callan Crocker, Peter Lanick fighting inside the top 5. Christopher Hill again starting to pull away. You could hear he was pretty comfortable out there in race number 1. And looks like he's picking up right where he left off. Stefan Vapa, Dean Tulin fighting for the 10th position. And cheer on your favorite driver out here. Who do you think is going to win? Who are you rooting for to make their way forward in this one? Side by side, Jesse Brannon, Jonathan DeKeischer. As Brannon will take that spot away. That moves him to the 8th position. DeKeischer in 9th. To try and get the undercut here as Brannon went a little bit wide on entry. And DeKeischer right on through. He'll take 8th position back. Little ways to go up to Aaron Dietrich. See these top 6 in front of him. Oh, and car off. That is Brian Kennedy. Oh man, rough night for him after running up there fighting for a podium position in race 1. Late mistake in that one cost him any chance of a good finish, and now early problems in this one. He goes all the way to the tail end in 27th. Side by side, Robert Benson, Berkant, Ndagdu. And maybe some issues farther up here. Off track goes Matthew Stover. He is still trying to get it back going and on the race course, but he's going to lose a ton of spots. May fall to the tail end here as Brian Kennedy closes in. At the front, though, nobody holding back. Darren Treacle still second. He has Adam Pohl not too far behind him. Rafael Torres without the early mistake in this race. No, he's got speed. Speaking of speed, the Speedville Johnsonville Bridge right there, an iconic section of this track. And thank you for the help there, Kojari Racing. In that Jonathan DeKuzier. That is going to help me a lot, DeKuzier. Look at this line of race cars back here. Stefan Vapa challenging Jesse Brannon. Can't make it stick right there. Tulin into the top 10, though. Here comes Peter Yerxa. He's not going to get a great run on in the front straightaway. That's going to allow Aspen Belvin, who has been a hard charger from the beginning of race number 1. Started in 27th, last place in race 1. And now up to P12, trying to take 11th away. Here's a move by Jesse Brannon. Look to the right side of Stefan Vapa. That'll slow him up on entry. Vapa able to get away. Aspen Belvin right there on the tail of Peter Yerxa. Stenselier also, he's been on the move a little bit since the beginning of race 1, up to 16th here in race 2. To the braking zone, the 3 machine, Callan Crocker lost some ground there. Not sure what happened. He's got a lot of rear end damage though. That bright orange machine. So he went from racing up there battling for the top 5 all the way now outside the top 15. Oh, we've got cars off just a little bit right there. Battling hard for position. Aspen Belvin. Peter Yerksa still going at it here, trying to make their way towards the top 10. Hill not getting away as fast as he did in race 1. Maybe Darren Treacle learning a few things. Keeping him within arm's length here. Adam Pohl right there as well. Rafael Torres. As Belvin able to make the pass now, he'll go through to 11th. And that was Mike Nickum getting a couple tires off the track there. Fall back to the 17th position. Started 16th in this race. I think if Darren Treacle can keep Christopher Hill this close, he might have a shot at the end. He was very quick in the closing laps of last race. As Aaron Dietrich, Jonathan DeKuser, 6th and 7th changing hands. Hopefully a little bit better broadcast quality tonight. We've been working on a few things, and like the video quality is hopefully a little bit better over here on YouTube tonight. I do want to thank you so much for tuning in, and hope you are enjoying. If you're interested in staying up to date with what we're doing throughout the week, make sure to follow us on these different social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. When we go live, sure to hit that subscribe button here on YouTube if you enjoy what you see and you want to get notified of when we go live with these races every Thursday night. Atlantic riding right here in the 5th position, kind of on an island at the moment. 6th and 7th, DeKuser and Aaron Dietrich starting to slowly close in. Thank you so much, Kajari Racing. First time viewer. Pat Sheridan as well. Thank you guys. Hope you're enjoying the race so far. Christopher Hill still 7/10 out in front. Darren Treacle will get a little draft down the straightaway here. But close up now to 6/10. That's how powerful that draft is down that straightaway. Good job through turn number 1. That gap now half a second. He will keep him that close at the exit of turn number 2. Down the backstretch here. This long straightaway. Actually, it's not the backstretch. It's kind of the middle stretch. There's really like 3 straightaways on this racetrack. And look at how close he is now. Under 4/10, but oh, a little bit off there at the bottom of the hill. And side by side, hard battling. Rafael Torres, Adam Pohl for 3rd. Really good stuff up here inside the top 5. Been clean racing all night long. You'd expect some really great road racing guys here. BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter. That group centrally located in the DMV region. Maryland, Virginia, covering that area of the U.S. for the BMW Car Club of America. But a lot of drivers here from other places around the world and around the country. If you're interested in taking part in this and think you could do a good job up against some of these guys, make sure to check out information about the league in the video description. They're always looking for drivers, looking for more participation. The field size is looking great so far this season. 27 here to start tonight. And it's competitive all throughout. I mean, look at this. Brian Kennedy back here, 22nd. He'll be getting the battle with Stephen Tenney We got Stencelier and David Curtis. All these guys, you know, you're always around somebody who's at your same skill level or very close to it. The field when it's this big. Look at this pack right here. 5 cars, 6 cars in a row. Competitive racing here tonight is Darren Treacle. Where he seems to lose a lot of time. Christopher Hill very strong through that section of the track. I'm a little bit better for Treacle, actually. Closed in. It looks like Christopher Hill maybe a little too hot under braking there. And problems for Rafael Torres, who gets into it at the bottom of the hill there. Let's go back and see. In the back end under braking. A couple drivers able to sneak past him there. That was who that was. Be a lap machine was able to go off around him, but the way back rolling now is Torres, who's had a couple mistakes here in the opening 2 races tonight. Yeah, he'll be fighting with Brian Kennedy to get back in the top 20. Overshoots that corner. Kennedy goes back to driver's left. He will reclaim that 20th position from Torres. Top 2 once again breaking away. Darren Treacle keeping up with Christopher Hill. Much better here in race 2. Adam Pohl once again finding himself up here in the 3rd position. Ended up on the podium in race 1. So we could very well see the same exact finishers in the top 3 here in race 2. Peter Lanick. Nose damage on that machine. And he currently leads over Jonathan Kuzier and Aaron Dietrich. 4th, 5th, and 6th right there. Stefan Vappa, Jesse Brannon, not too far off from each other. Dean Tooling works around the lap machine right there. Behind them, having a very strong night. This is where it's at right here. Peter Lanick to Aaron Dietrich. These 3 all within 1 second. This seems to always be where the battle is. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. No different here tonight at Road America. That's how it was in race 1. That's how it is here in race 2. Oh, and there goes Dietrich around. Lost it under braking. Still working to get back up to speed here. He's going to fall outside the top 10, right up against the grass. Oh, and he's going to go around again. Oh, man, from bad to worse for the Golf machine. And waiting for a safe area to rejoin here. He is definitely not in a good spot at the moment. Still going to put a lap on. Not sure which number that is. Erkant Kandagdu. Yes. Is 61 goes a lap down here. Matthew Stover 1 lap down. Perry Duncan and John Wood have taken it behind the wall here. This 4th, 5th, and 6th place battle is now a 4th and 5th place as skating off the track goes to Kuzier. They make contact. Peter Lanick and to Kuzier swapping positions. So what we saw there was 4th, 5th, and 6th, and Dietrich went off the track. So then it was just 4th and 5th, and then Lanick and DeKuzier hard battling right there. DeKuzier off the off the track there, and now the battle might be for 6th and 7th. Stefan Vappa, Jesse Brannon. Closing in on 4 minutes to go. Should be just about 2 more laps. Lead battle still about 7/10 separating Darren Treacle and Christopher Hill. This is the next closest battle on the racetrack. 4/10 separating those two, and then Colin Kortnick, Alan Crocker fighting for the last position in the top 10. We got Mike Nickum and Carlos Bonds fighting for 13th and 14th. A very exciting race here tonight. Papa Brannon still fighting it out here, 3/10. Brannon closing in. Vappa, big slide right there, but able to keep the speed up in that M4 GT3 machine. Gusher trying to close in on Peter Lanick after getting pushed off the track by him just a lap ago. And he is closing that deficit now down to 8/10 between those drivers. So we'll see a battle for the 4th position, I think, before the race is over. While just under 3 minutes left, and it is still a fight up at the front. Darren Treacle, very impressive to see what he has done here in race 2 and how much he has improved. For Hill really riding that fine line of speed and smoothness. Able to maintain about this distance over Darren Treacle all race long. Brannon and Vappa closing in on a lap car. Kind of a bad spot on the racetrack. Vappa gets around him pretty well. Both of them do. No issues. That was the 61 who was a lap down. For other battles on the racetrack, not too many too close at the moment. Colin Kortnick, Callan Crocker, Yakov Bielik, rather. Those three pretty close at the moment, 10th, 11th, 12th. Ford with the 141 who overshot the corner just a little bit. He'll lose a couple of car lengths. Wide right there as well. He's kind of lost touch a little bit with those two at the moment, but Callan Crocker under fire from Kortnick. 10th and 11th. There may be an opportunity to pass here as they are on the white flag lap now. At the front, Darren Treacle 6/10 behind Christopher Hill. It'll take a mistake. Look at this side by side into turn 1 though. Kortnick and Crocker. Crocker is going to hang on to the position. This could open up an opportunity for Bielik. Dive it in there, and so does the 32. Other battles to speak of right now. DeKusher closing in on Peter Lanick. 4th, but still about 7/10 off of him. Side by side back here at the bottom of the hill. Their way back up here, back to the left, side by side. This is Colin Kortnick and Yakov Bielik. That is tight through there, very flat corner. Last couple of corners for Christopher Hill. And a little bit Wide there goes Bielik. 32 of Kortnick going to try and work his way around the outside. Meanwhile, at the front, Christopher Hill coming to the final corner, able to hold off Darren Treacle, who's pushed very hard this race, done an excellent job closing in and staying there. He'll be right around 6/10 as they cross the stripe, just not quite enough. As Christopher Hill will win both races tonight. Darren Treacle second, Adam Pohl going to be coming home in third in the second race of the evening as well. Taking a look a little farther back, closest battle on the racetrack is going to be that last spot, or the first spot just outside the top 10. Kortnick and Bielik, and the 141 goes off track there. He might be in danger of losing a spot to Carlos Bonds. Oh, he'll hang on to it. So Christopher Hill, your race winner here for both events tonight. Congrats to him, as well as the other top three finishers, Adam Pohl and Darren Treacle. Get these guys up in here. We'll go with third place finisher first. That'll be Adam Pohl here in the number 7 machine. Talk with him. Then we will talk with another driver who was pretty impressive in tonight's events. Yeah, Adam Pohl. Adam Pohl, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, you finished on the podium in both races here tonight. Really good race from you. Just not quite enough to get up there to battle with the top two. But talk about those battles there for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all those battles here tonight.
Yeah, that was a stressful night of racing. I was pretty disappointed with my qualifying performance, but had a clean first race, made my way back up through, took advantage of people's mistakes and opportunities, and yeah, got to third there, which I was pretty happy with. And then that second race, those first few laps with Darren right in front of me and Raf just all over my butt the whole time, and that was pretty intense.
Yeah, that is for sure. It was really great battling out there. Very similar to what we saw at the tail end of last season. A lot of battles for that fourth position.
Yep.
Every week, but what a way to kick off the season with a couple podiums here in tonight's events. How are you liking the two 20-minute races?
It's a fun format. You get those two starts, which gets the heart rate going a little more, but it also gives people an opportunity if the first race didn't go that well. Like you look at Raf, I think he started 8th in that second race, and he was up to 4th after the first lap. So lots of fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch and see how people, there was a couple drivers that started towards the very back in the first race, and they ended up in the top 10 here by the end of the second race. Really cool to see that format kind of play out that way. We go to Catalunya next week. I don't know too much about that track, but how do you feel about going up?
Well, I bought it a couple of weeks ago, and I have not driven it yet, so we'll see.
All right. I think I'm in the same boat as you. So, well, good run here tonight. Third place. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just once again to the NCC chapter for setting this up. Scott and Brian and I think Dean and Darren are all on the crew that makes this happen. So that's great, and thank them.
Awesome, Adam. Well, congrats on the podium finish here tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
Race third place finisher, Adam Pohl. Let's now go to Darren Treacle, who came home in the second. Treacle, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Good to hear from you again, and great performance to kick things off this.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't know if I would call it great, but hey, it was a good performance. I'm not going to deny I was hoping for a little better since I won practice. I was thinking that I could put together a little bit better race, or races, I should say. But all in all, it was a good result for sure.
Yeah, you definitely improved in the second race, and that's going to be interesting, I think, throughout this season with the format. But what did you learn there in race one that helped you stay so much closer to Chris in the second race?
Well, I think it helped that I started next to him. And in the first race, I had like Raphael and Stefan had a little come together there. I think it was in turn 3, I think maybe, which kind of put me a little ways back from Chris. And our times are pretty similar. He was running actually a faster pace he had a faster pace in the first race, and I was just making too many mistakes. I think I was a little worked up, so that gets you a little tense when you're driving. So I just wasn't putting together the good laps. Second race, I started next to him on the front row, and we fought it out there for the first 3 or 4 turns, and then I fell in behind him and was able to kind of watch what he was doing. I noticed in the first race he would make up some time in I think it's turn 6, which is the turn under the bridge on top of the hill, that complex, and then going through the carousel, he would make time on me. So I was close enough in the second race I could kind of see what he was doing to try to mirror that to stay a little closer. And I was probably getting a draft on the long straights. That was probably helping as well.
Yeah, definitely. As long as you were within that 6/7 it was an opportunity to make something happen. If he ever slipped up, you were right there to make a move. But really cool to see that improvement and what you learned there in race 1 to race 2. We go to Catalunya next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I like the track. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I haven't done it, haven't raced it in a while, but I do own it, so that helps. But I like the track, so it should be a good race.
Yeah, these GT3 cars are fun to watch. A lot of center corner speed and really planted, and a lot of fun to watch you guys battle out there tonight. But second place in both sprint races tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just the usual suspects: myself, Treacle Insurance Agency, Haggerty Insurance, and then Sten over Beltway Brewery, SEO Mike, and then you guys for doing the broadcast, and obviously Scott for setting all this up.
Awesome, Darren. Well, great racing out there. Good job, and keeping things interesting up at the front for us there, especially in race 2. And go celebrate that finish, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam.
Now we're going to go to race winner. That is going to be Christopher Hill. We talked to him once. We'll talk to him again. Christopher Hill, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Well, 2 for 2 for you here tonight, and it was a lot closer in race number 2. Darren was keeping things interesting, trying to stick with you there, and were you feeling the pressure a little bit more in that one?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I kind of anticipated that's how that race would be in a sense, just because once Darren's didn't have to battle through anybody because he had a couple passes to make in the first race. I figured he'd at least even if I had any pace on him, he'd be able to at least stick in the draft. Because it's not like I was going to have like a half a second a lap on him or something like that. Enough to break the draft. So. He was right there, and any little mistake, and he would have got me, for sure. Kind of kept the pressure on, and that was fun. It was a little more nail biting, so to speak, than the first one, but still, I think that was my first clean sweep of the series here, of doing first and all that kind of stuff all the way across the board. So that was a nice evening. Nice change of events here.
Yeah, definitely a good way to get things back on track here this season. And we go to Catalunya next week. I'm not too familiar with the track myself, but we've heard a couple drivers already say that they're looking forward to it. How are you feeling about going out there?
I think when we've run there before, we've had some decent success. So I think actually, but I know that's definitely a track that Darren is pretty good at, because I still remember like the first race that him and I ever had together in the series, battling for the win there, kind of a thing, and and so he definitely put on the pressure there. So I don't expect it to be an easy race by any means, but I think it'll be a fun one for sure, if nothing else. So
Yeah,
especially with the new car, the cars, the way they're all the extra grip they've got now, and all of that, is going to be interesting to see how that all shakes up.
Yeah, I was gonna say these cars are a lot of fun to watch through the center of the corner. Just so much grip, so much downforce, and really is a spectacle to see people battling out there. Compared to even the cars you guys were in last season, are really fun to watch. Really fast out there. Was exciting
sure.
tonight, and you put it up on the top step of the podium in both events. What do you want to give a shout out to?
Well, thanks, Scott, to putting on another great season. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting it. Always have to throw out a mention there on my company there, the Precision Racing Instruction. So we coach people both in the sim and real life and all that kind of stuff. So anybody who's interested in tuning themselves up or getting a little quicker or anything along those lines, just reach out either through Instagram or Facebook, or if you're on Discord, feel free to send me a message. And yeah, looking forward to next week and the rest of the season. Little bummed that Steve didn't make it out. I hope he shows up for some more of the races here, so we can continue our rivalry and stuff there. But yeah, good first race of the season. So hoping to continue.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's out here too. He's definitely. It's fun to see you guys go at it week in and week out. So yeah, we'll see if he's back next week. I know you guys have a couple drop weeks in the season, so maybe he's using one here in week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, great job here tonight, dominating. You lead every lap. We're used to seeing that from you, but go celebrate, and we'll catch you in Catalunya.
Sounds good. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.
Too. Christopher Hill, winner of week 1, both races in the sprint format here tonight. Congrats to him. Go through the rest of our results here tonight. Christopher Hill leads the way all the way in both sprint races after starting on the pole in both events. He hangs on over Darren Treacle here in event number 2. Adam Pohl finishes in the 3rd position behind those two, a distant 3rd. Peter Lanik, strong finish in 4th here in race number 2. Jonathan Hoosier finishes 5th. Stefan Vappa 6th. Jesse Brandon 7th. 8th was Dean Tulane. 9th, Aspen Belvin. Very good drive from Aspen here tonight. We may try and pull them into the booth. Alan Crocker finishes in 11th. Colin Kortnick. 12th was Yakov Bielik. 13th, Carlos Bonds. 14th, Mike Nickham. 15th, Rafael Torres. 16th, David Curtis. 17th, Brian Kennedy. 18th, Sten Cellier. Aaron Dietrich. 19th, Stephen Tenney, rounding out the top 20. 21st, Scott Kim. 22nd, Robert Benson. 23rd, Peter Yerksa. 24th, Birkin Gandangu. 25th, Matthew Stover. 26th, Perry Duncan and John Wood, rounding out the field here in race 2. John Wood in. If we can talk to Aspen Belvin, I believe, was the biggest mover between the two events. Aspen, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, not too bad. We just wanted to pull you in, talk to you real quick. You, I believe, were the biggest mover between the two races. Started dead last in race 1, and you end up with a 9th place finish here in race 2. Really impressive performance out there. You were making passes left and right. What was it like out there for you?
I got a little hairy at the end of Heat 1. I think we had a 4-wide situation there for a moment. Didn't end well for some guys behind me. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a whole lot of fun feeling the new tire model, feeling how the tires are falling apart near the end of the run, but still trying to catch the guys in front of you.
Yeah, and you were doing a great job there, obviously managing a lot on the long run, able to make those passes and make things work for you here this evening. We go to Catalunya next week. How are you feeling about going out there?
It's definitely not one of my stronger tracks, but I do love the layout. Definitely going to put some practice in next week.
Yeah, we're. I'm not too familiar with the track myself, but looking forward to something new and seeing you guys battle it up out there. But just wanted to talk to you real quick and say congrats on the big moving there from beginning of the night to the end, and looking forward to see if you can continue that next week.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
That is Aspen Belvin, biggest mover here tonight from the beginning of the night to the race. I think he was actually one of the biggest movers even in the second event. Alan Kortnick gained 11 positions well here in race 2. Huge move throughout the night. Anyways, we do want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight for the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Back next Thursday with this series from Catalunya, and we'll be right back here on Tuesday night with the BY Cup Series. Looking forward to that one coming up next day night, 8:25 p.m. Those are Cup cars, NASCARs. If you're interested in oval racing, bring it to you Tuesday nights, and Thursday nights will be BMW Car Club of America for the next 10 weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Thank you to the sponsors, everybody who makes this happen week out. Catch you all